Hello there, my name is Dave, and this is my sort of gear channel. I have a main channel where I talk about ultramarathon running and things like that. If you want to check that out, go check it out over there. But here is where I talk about the gear behind that main channel, and I found something very interesting. So if you're a podcaster or creator or YouTuber or streamer or whatever, you probably know what these microphones are in front of me. These are Shure SM7B microphones, and they've become incredibly popular over the years because of people like Joe Rogan and just about everybody else on the planet using them for podcasting. And you may have differing opinions about these microphones, whether or not you like them, whether or not you think they sound good. That's totally up to you. What this video is about, though, is about fake Shure SM7Bs, because, hang on, what you're listening to me on right now is a fake Shure SM7B. Yes, it looks the part, you can see on camera right now, and also it kind of sounds good. It kind of sounds the part. These two microphones, one's real and one's fake, sound nearly identical. There are some differences that we'll talk about in a minute, but for the most part, these two are very similar sounding. Now, why did I buy a fake Shure SM7B? Well, I didn't intend to. I went on eBay because I own two real Shure SM7Bs for my podcast, and I own a Rodecaster Pro 2. Because I only have two microphones, I thought, hey, maybe I should get two more in case I need to have more guests on one show. Up to 4 people could be talking at the same time. And so I thought maybe I'd buy 2 used microphones to supplement my 2 new ones. And I found on eBay, they were quote unquote brand new Shure SM7Bs for incredible prices. These microphones typically are $400 brand new from reputable sources like B&H Photo or Sweetwater or whoever. And on eBay, you can buy one of these microphones for $180, $200 US dollars, which is about half the price of a brand new model from Shure. So I found this kind of interesting. And yes, I was a little bit suspect, but because eBay has buyer protection, and if you don't get what is delivered to you, you can get your money back, I bit the bullet. I thought, hey, if it worst case scenario, I'll just, fight it and I'll get my money back, which I did and end up having to do. But this is where things get kind of confusing because, as I said before, this microphone looks the part and it also kind of sounds the part. They're not identical, but let's go back to the real Shure SM7B now. You can see here, they don't sound all that different. This is the real one. This is the fake one. This is the real one. This is the fake one. And in some cases, you might think the fake one might even sound a little bit better than the real one. However, even though these two microphones kind of sound the same and one is fake, which is kind of scary, that's not the whole story here. There are some downsides to the fake one, even though it is much cheaper. And the first thing I want to talk about is consistency. Like I said, I bought 2 of these fake microphones. I got this one here, and then I've got this one here. This is another fake from eBay, and I plugged them both in to test them out. And what I found is that one sounded good. You're listening to the good one right now, but one also didn't sound good. Okay, and now we're back on another Shure SM7B, and again, it doesn't sound terrible, but if we compare it, if we go A-B again compared to the real one, you're going to hear a pretty significant difference between these two. The real Shure SM7B has a darker tone to it. It's got a lot of bass. The mids are kind of scooped a little bit, and it's got sort of a sparkle at the high end that gives, it's just a pleasant, in my opinion, it's a pleasant thing to listen to. It's a really easy to listen to mic. Jumping back to the fake one here, and again, this is the lesser quality fake one in my opinion. It's got sort of a very mid, high range present sound to it and less bass to it. And it doesn't sound anything like the other fake Shure SM7B I have here either. Jumping back to the fake the real Shure SM7B here, again, night and day comparison between their audio qualities. Here's the real one, and here's the fake one, and here's the real one. You should be wearing headphones for this, obviously, but in my headphones, they sound pretty different. The real one sounds much, much better. And now we're back on the fake Shure SM7B again, and now I want to talk about the other major issue with these when it comes to sound quality, and that's going to be their shock mount. So the Shure SM7B, the real one, is known for its incredible shock mount. If I go back to that, let's jump back to the real Shure SM7B, you'll notice that even if I touch the microphone, you can hear it in the recording, But for what I'm doing here, I'm touching it, I'm moving it around. It's really not that bad. And if I bump my table here, you can hear it a little bit, but it's not like ruining my recording. Back on the fake Shure SM7B, where the shock mount in this one is quite a bit different. For example, if I just touch this microphone, that's just the handling noise here is insane. It's like really low rumbles come right through the recording. It's the same on both these. Even the better sounding one has the same issues. If I touch my table here, even if I tap on it with my fingers like I was before, if I stomp my foot, that comes through on the recording. Everything comes through. So the shock mount inside the fake Shure SM7B is not at the same level of the real one. I think a lot of people are going to go on eBay. If you're new to podcasting, if you're new to streaming or making content and you just want a cheaper microphone, you'll notice these on eBay and be like, wow, that's a great deal. I'll go for it. And because you're new to it and maybe you don't know what a real Shure SM7B sounds like, you might buy one, bring it home, plug it in, and just think that's what they sound like. Because like I said, these are not terrible sounding, even the fake ones. So you may plug them in and realize, oh, it sounds a little different than I thought, but this is a Shure SM7B, no big deal. And so the scammer, the person who sold these on eBay to you, has now taken your money. You might even be happy, but you didn't get the product you paid for. And that's the most concerning thing about this. These are being marketed as Shure SM7Bs when they are not. And I can only imagine the amount, probably thousands of people have bought these fake ones thinking they're real. And this is only going to compound the issue because, a couple of years down the road, maybe those people decide they want a different microphone. They put these on the used market, and now they're just circulating again as real Shure SM7Bs because that person unknowingly is selling theirs as a real one as well. So that is very confusing. Let's talk about how you can identify a fake. And to do that, let's start with the packaging. One of these is a fake Shure SM7B box, and one is the real one. And as you can see, that is scary. They have copied the packaging of the Shure SM7B to great detail. They are nearly identical, but there are some issues with the fake one. Once you get into the box, though, is where things get really interesting because the packaging is identical. They have the same foam, the same case, the same baggies, the same contents. You get the same accessories, but the difference when in the packaging is that on the fake one, they're actually using little Ziploc bags for all the accessories. On the real one, they just use regular bags with no Ziploc on the end. I don't know why, but that's one thing I noticed between the two that I have. Go back to the real one now so you can hear that one again. Moving into the hardware itself, how can you tell a fake Shure SM7B from a real one? So this is where things get pretty nitpicky. The first thing I noticed when I took these two out of the box is, yes, the branding is the same, both say Shure on them in the same places. But one tell for me is that the windsock, the actual, wind pop filter on the front of the microphone, and, you can see on one side, one looks a little bit grayer. It's got like a gray appearance where one looks black. The black one here is the real Shure SM7B, where the gray one is the fake one. You can also see that the fake one is a little bit bloated, like the windsock is kind of pillowed. It's kind of sticking out from where the mount is. It kind of bulges out a little bit. Another big tell that I noticed is the cable length. If you take your Shure SM7B and you kind of put the mount at its furthest back point like this, your cable should not be able to get over the hand screws of the mount, of the yoke mount. Where on the fake one, if you do the same thing, you can see that it's easily able to go over that hand screw because there's more cable available. And I've seen on other videos where people talked about the cable being of a lesser quality. In this case, the cable feels almost identical to me. I think they're actively updating this to solve some of these issues to make it a better copy, which is kind of scary. Another tell when it comes to the cable is the grommets. They fall right out very easily. If you just pull on them, they pop right out of the metal. Where on the real Shure SM7B, they're actually really difficult to pull out. They're well securely attached to the microphone. Let's go back to the fake Shure SM7B so you can hear that again. Another difference that I see talked about a lot is the capsule inside the microphone. So if I take the windsock off, again, there's that shock mount not working very well in this fake one. A lot of people talked about the capsule inside the microphone being at different levels in a lot of videos that I watched about this. Now, in my case, they're at the same exact level, so they must have fixed that as well. However, something I did notice that's probably the easiest tell of all is going to be the yoke mount. So on the fake Shure SM7B, there's a couple of differences. Inside the little stack up of washers and stuff where the mount meets the microphone, there's like a couple of brass washers and then a rubber washer. If you crank this mount down as tight as you can with all your might on the fake Shure SM7B, it's still very easy to move. You can see there, it's almost like floppy. If I just shake it around, this will actually move up and down, which is not great. You kind of want it to be stiff, and like that handling noise is rough, man. But you kind of want it to be stiff so it doesn't flop around like that. If I go back to the real Shure SM7B, if I tighten this down, it's very stiff. It's almost impossible to move if you really crank it down. And the final thing with the mount is if you look, it's kind of, I'll show you a close-up of this, but if you look down through the fingers where the mount connects, on the real Shure SM7B, there is a brass bushing inside those fingers. And I think that's where the better mounting system comes into play. On the fake Shure SM7B, there is no brass bushing. The mount just directly connects to the threads of the screw, which as a previous mechanical designer is a big no-no, and will eventually destroy the screw that's there, which probably doesn't matter for like a $50 microphone. But again, this just flops around if you try to move it around. And now we're back on the real SM7B, and again, that handling noise is so much better on this thing. That's really the downfall. I think the easiest thing to tell when it comes to audio quality is that handling noise is so bad on the fakes, and it's so good on the real ones. So if you notice that, you probably have a fake Shure SM7B. Okay, that's kind of the end of this video. Like I said, to the uneducated eye, this is going to be a real tough one for you to spot. So my only hope with this video is that it makes it a little bit easier for you to spot and to help some of you out there, because this scam is real. Yeah, these are cheaper, but to be honest, if you're in the market and you actually want to buy a fake Shure SM7B, make sure you're only spending like $60 on these things, because, you know, first of all, I don't recommend buying a fake. You're directly helping the counterfeit world. And yeah, I mean, I have my thoughts about Shure is probably charging too much, but also they designed this thing. It's a legendary microphone. It's theirs, you know, it's their design. It's no one else's. So don't buy counterfeit. And if you do want to buy counterfeit, just keep in mind, you're not going to get support. You're not going to get warranty support. And the sound quality is just not the same as the real one. But I do get that some people are in this for the look, and they are on a budget. So there's that. Anyways, I hope this helped educate you in some way on this very odd phenomenon that's popping up. I wonder if this is going to happen to other microphone manufacturers like Electro Voice or whoever makes more popular podcast mics. It's really unfortunate, and hopefully it can be stopped or at least reduced. And it's unfortunately that people like eBay just keep letting this happen. I guess there's really no way to vet out who is selling this stuff. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, let's get my channel up in subscriptions. Maybe go down, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description down below where you can go check out my real channel and my real podcast, and not this kind of gear channel where I talk more about trail running and stuff like that. And that's sort of the end of this. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.